Hello everybody, Jason of New 80's Revolution Cave for the triumphant return of the TN80sR half-hour power hour. That's right. Where you, the faithful friend of the channel, become a part of the show. Fire in those hard-hitting questions. Get the honest truth, the answer, the unedited, the uncensored answers from me, the world's greatest YouTuber. We've done this before. We did this. We had a good run with this, and we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back, and you guys answered the call. Some of you did, and so I have enough questions for maybe 3 or 4 shows. Get them in. Get them in if you want to be a part of the show. TN80R questions@gmail.com. JasonNup76@gmail.com. And look me up on Facebook. I am back on Facebook. Several of you are now friends of mine on the Facebook. The Facebook is only going to be for the channel, and it's only going to be for us to interact. I don't know how active I'll be with posts. I don't know what I would post. I guess pictures of stuff. I don't know. But somebody gave me a great idea today. The great Lisa E., who we'll hear from a little later. She gave me a great idea with the Facebook. Maybe having a guest every once in a while on the channel. Maybe doing a FaceTime call and somehow being able to record it. I don't know how that works. We might have to like do a drawing for a friend of the, a friend of the Facebook. A friend on Facebook gets into a drawing maybe once a month, and we pick a winner, and that winner gets to do a Zoom call with me. We record it and we put it on the channel as like as an interview segment with you, not you interviewing me necessarily, just us talking about the 80s and stuff, and meeting and being able to interact. So, well, that's an option. Let's get into the questions. Let's get into the questions. Lisa E., of course, came with a vengeance, listed a bunch of questions for me. My man upstate Johnny, he listed some questions, and his are always right on the border of, serious and comedic, and I love it. I love it because he thinks the exact same way I do, and several of these questions prove that our brains are somehow linked, and that's great. We'll start off. What do you want to do? You want to start the show on some serious notes or end it on some serious? I say we start it on some serious notes and show you what the power hour, the half-hour power hour, is going to be all about. Some of you also asked for longer shows. The dailies, sometimes the dailies are 10 minutes. Sometimes they're 15, 18, 20 minutes. Some of you asked for longer shows, and I know the importance of longer YouTube shows because I watch them as I'm falling asleep. So now that Stephen Brown is back doing the vlogs, when I see the hour-long vlog, I get excited. When I see the 28-minute vlog, I'm okay. I'm okay. When I see the 16-minute vlog, I'm like, no, that's not going to work for me. I need to wind down with a long. So we'll do a longer show today. Lisa E., here we go. I have not scrolled through all of these, so I'm not picking and choosing questions. I've glanced at them. But her very first question fires it right off the bat. Right off the bat. She says, when was the last time you went to a church service? Probably, I'd say maybe a month ago. Yeah, I'd say a month ago. Maybe slightly longer, maybe a month and a week ago. The battle with faith is a constant, ongoing battle. I've talked about faith on a previous episode, a year and a half ago or so. It's always been a struggle. It's always been a struggle for me. It's always been a struggle for me to wrap my brain around. I guess it's a struggle for me to have faith in the concept of faith. So long story short, well, that's not the point of the power hour, but long story medium short, you know, I was sent to a Catholic school when I was a kid because that's what you did. You know, you baptized your kids Catholic, you sent them to Catholic school, and there you go, you're Catholic. I was just Catholic by schooling, I guess. I mean, I was baptized Catholic, but that's not even all the sacraments you have to do to become officially Catholic. So I don't think I'm officially Catholic or ever was, just based on a baptism. I've always searched for something to connect to, faith-wise, higher power-wise. I've always searched. I've always tried, and sadly, I've always failed. When I got sick in March, as many people would do, I started exploring faith again. And Lisa E. was very helpful with that, sending me all kinds of things to read and lots of prayers. And a lot of you guys were, tons of you guys were, Mike D., I mean, everybody. And it was great. And I started, I don't know if church was the turn off for me, because I started going to multiple different churches. I started going on this church binge. I hit up the Catholic Church again. I hit up a couple of Baptist churches. And I hit up a Bible-based Christian church, like a Bible fellowship church. Some of them are huge stadium-style churches. Some of them are smaller, but the same concept. Half hour of very upbeat worship music followed by an hour of basically Bible study. And then I even went to my father's wife invited me to go to a Pentecostal church. That was a whole new experience. But I don't know what I came out of any of that with. What I came out of that with was I enjoyed reading the Bible on my own time, and reading and highlighting and studying, I guess. I didn't particularly love any of the churches that I went to. I didn't. The Catholic Church I'm so used to, and I'm so bored with it, to be honest with you. It's boring. The Baptist Church was a little bit on that was more of my checklist, I guess, of things that I wanted. The pastor at the Hilton Baptist, which is in town, was great and young and everything, but the congregation was like 17 people and they all averaged about 83 years old. That's tough to do. It's tough to enjoy. And then the Bible fellowship churches are massive, you know, and even the smaller ones just feel massive. And I got a kind of a bad experience when I went to one for the first time, and somebody was talking to me and wanted to pray with me and then told me that I was saved within first 15 minutes of being there. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? I don't know what that means. So where am I at? Well, you didn't ask where I'm at with faith. You asked me when the last time I went to church, and I answered it in about 17 other questions. But I don't know. I continue to search and hope that something hits me. But I'm very impressionable. I'm very impressionable, and I can easily feel good about something and then go down the atheism hole and hear some expert atheist speakers speak about atheism, and I'm like, wow, that's brilliant. That makes all the sense in the world. And then I'll come back to, you know, Catholicism and Bible-based, you know, preachings and ideals. And then I'm like, yeah, that makes sense too. I don't know. You know, it's hard for me to say when people say, well, you just read the Bible, you just follow the Bible. Well, what if you don't believe that the Bible is actually, you know, the Word of God? You know, what if we're just being told that it is? You know what I mean? So I get it. I understand that people who have a strong faith believe in the Bible as the Word of God. And that's why their faith is so strong. I don't even know if I'm at that point yet. I don't even know if I don't know what the Bible is. You know, I've got a lot of cynical questions about faith. I got a lot of cynical questions about the Bible. Jesus, according to the Bible, according to the Gospels, worked many miracles, magical miracles, right? Not just extreme miracles, like physically turning stuff into other stuff, physically healing somebody, physically bringing back somebody from the dead. Okay. And hasn't done anything like that in thousands of years. How come it just happened then, and hasn't happened since? And I know that there are reports of miracles and people have faith-based miracles all the time. I don't want to sound too cynical. I'm sounding cynical. I'm not. I'm just questioning. I just have a lot of unanswerable questions. They're unanswerable questions, and that's the definition of faith. You're not going to get factual scientific proof. For Christians, the factual proof is the Bible. What if you don't believe that the Bible is the proof? Well, then you're struggling with faith. You're basic, I think all faith has to be based on the Bible, right? If you're going to believe in a Christian God and Jesus, you have to believe in the Bible. What if you don't believe in the Bible? Or what if you question that the Bible's legitimacy? What if you question the stories in the Bible? As I would question the stories in any fantastical, document. This atheist speaker said there's, 1,000 gods out there throughout life. There's 1,000 gods. You Christians choose to believe in all but 999 of them. Right? The atheist is just taking it one step further. 1% further. I don't know. And I'm envious of faith. I've said that many times. I'm envious of people who have a strong faith because what do they do with the I don't know? Do they just say, I don't know, and we're not supposed to know because it's God's plan? Fine. I can appreciate a person that has that way of thinking. I wish that I could get there. I really do. I wish I could get there. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest. Next question. That's a heck of a way to start the show off, isn't it? Do you experience burnout at work? If you do you have a trusted person to talk with? So for those who don't know, I am a mental health, addictions, marriage, family therapist. And I'm at the level of licensure that I have my own private practice that is that I am also paneled with insurance companies. And that takes a while to get to that level of licensure so that I can bill insurance companies for my services. And I've been self-employed for probably about 4 years now. And it's been a massive change to my life, massive change. And I've been doing it about 25 years. And when you start off in this field, it's notoriously low paying. And so when I was, 25 years old, I was making, $28,000 a year in this field. And always had the goal of having my own office someday and just sitting down and talking with people. But I, as I got older, and worked for you in this field, it's not uncommon to have worked for 6 or 7 different agencies or hospitals or counties or whatever, because you just get tired of a particular place and you go somewhere else. And that somewhere else offers you $5,000 more a year and you jump at it because, boy, you were making 45 and now you're making 50, and oh, we're rolling with the big dogs now. And I reached kind of I reached a burnout point. So yes, I was burnt out on this field about 4 years ago. So I worked at the University of Rochester, and I was, I was making decent salary because I'd been in the field for, 20 years at that point. So I was making a decent salary for my profession. Was it a decent enough salary to raise, family of 2 children and their mother when she wants to be a stay-at-home mom? No, that would have been tough. So I started my private practice 12 years ago, in addition to working at the U of R. And so I was working my full-time job and then going to my office maybe 4 days a week to work a 5 and a 6 and a 7 even. So 3 people a day, maybe three days a week. And then I would work Saturdays. So I was really gone a lot. And I was done. I was done because I was valued. I was undervalued. Then Excelis came along. Excelis is a insurance company. It's the biggest insurance company in New York State. I looked into it and I realized that I had the time served. I could get the credentials to get paneled by insurance companies. Then the insurance company told me what they would pay me, and it changed the game. It changed my life. I was burnt out on the U of R the moment that Excelis told me that they were going to pay me. And this is not private information. I'm not giving you private numbers. You can call your own insurance company and find out what they reimburse for mental health counseling. It's a common fact. It's a known fact. But Excelis is going to pay me $128 an hour. And nobody makes $128. I mean, who makes $128 an hour? So when I heard that, and I looked at the hourly rate that the U of R was paying me, they're massive amounts apart from each other. They're not even in the same ballpark, folks. Think of a regular run-of-the-mill $25 to $30 an hour salary, and compare that to $128 an hour. You will quickly hate this job. So I was burnt out at the U of R, absolutely, when I realized what that giant billion-dollar company was valuing me at, and what another giant billion-dollar company, like an insurance company, was going to value me at. And at one point, I threw in the towel at the U of R. I mean, I was pretty useless, and while I waited to get paneled, and I got paneled, and I left. I left, and I didn't leave peacefully because I was so burnt out. I hated the place at that point, and I hated working for somebody, or I hated working for anybody that wasn't going to value me at what I should have been valued at, and so I went private, and I got paneled on multiple insurance companies. You can't just be paneled on one. Excelis is the highest paying, but the others are comparable. They're within, $10, $15, $20. There are some bottom of the rung insurance companies that I could get paneled with that were going to pay me $60 an hour, and I'm not going to get paneled with that insurance company. They're not even close. Am I burnt out in the private practice? Absolutely, 100% not. I'm nowhere near burnout at this point in the game. I only work about 28 to 30 hours a week. I write my own schedule. I don't wake up in the morning at 7 o'clock. I wake up when the kids are homeschooled, so we get up at 9, and we start our day. I don't have to hurry off in the morning to go to work. I get out, I schedule myself till 2 o'clock on Fridays, and I work till 2 o'clock on Saturdays. But total all that up, and it's about 30 hours a week. So that is the prevention of burnout. You don't get burned out if you don't burn yourself out. Now, am I burnt out on the stories? Am I burnt out on the cases? Am I burnt out on the tragedies and the chaos? No. No, because a strange thing happens in this field. The same thing that happens to firefighters and police officers and nurses and things like that. You know that you're going to see stuff. You know you're going to hear stuff. And so I've always known that that's going to happen. And so a long time ago, I figured out how to deal with stuff. You guys and this channel is how I deal with stuff. My collection, the children, the Sunday morning bowling league with my kid, the time with the Nintendo, the 11 o'clock at night when I'm sitting on the couch and I'm starting to watch, a 1985 episode of Championship Wrestling. The fact that I don't have to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, I can stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning and be fine the next day. So I can extend my night, to extend my alone time, to extend my stress release, my coping mechanisms. Do I have a trusted person to talk with? I am right now, friend. I am right now. I am talking with trusted friends. I am talking with trusted people. You people, this phone, I'm staring at a phone, staring at myself, actually. I'm, watching myself. But this is my trusted person to talk to. I've never really needed to debrief anything with anybody. I don't think I'm stuffing it all. I think I'm fine. I'm not a first responder. I don't see the dead bodies like the first responders do, but I hear about it, and I'm okay. I really am. Do you know what started your fear of cats? Cats started my fear of cats. They're so let's see. I think my dad's sister had a cat when I was like 12, 10, 11. I had a cat when I was 8. It was an outdoor cat, and it was kind of a stray, and it followed me, and it just lived in our garage. And all it would do is kind of like, walk around my legs when I would wait for the bus stop. It would just kind of like nuzzle my legs, and I'd pet it, and then I'd move on. But I didn't try to hold it or anything like that. And then my very next experience with a cat was my dad's sister's cat. And she had an apartment, and we'd go hang out there. And that cat was just nasty, just mean. And I just couldn't, I was scared. I don't think that cat ever bit me, but it would like scratch, it would claw at you, like, get away from me. And it would make these awful noises. And I've, I don't know, she had a spray bottle, like you had to spray. And then I remember I lived in an apartment, and I had a neighbor, like a downstairs neighbor that, we were kind of close to, and she got sick and she was dying. She was in the hospital, and she had a cat, and she asked us to like feed her cat while she was in the hospital. But again, another situation, you had to go down there with a spray bottle. And because if you went to leave, the cat would get angry, and it would actually like latch onto your leg, and it would claw at your ankles. And that feeling, just like, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. It just like makes my spine hurt to think of a cat just grabbing it. So when we watch Stephen Brown and Bella is, scratching at his foot or biting his foot, and he's all calmly like, don't bite, Bella, that's not nice. I'm like, whew, I'm like shaking and, needing to vomit. So we'll stop with Lisa E. We've got plenty more from her. We'll move on to, we'll happy it up a little bit, and we'll go to my man Upstate Johnny. And let me pick a good one that I can answer. Oh, this is a good one. He says, what is your ideal flooring in an 80s house? Vinyl, carpet, expand. 100% hands down carpeting. Absolutely carpeting. Vinyl in the kitchen. Okay, vinyl. What is that? What's that tile called? It's not vinyl. It is called vinyl, but what's it called when they roll it out? What is that called? I want to say Formica, but that's countertops. Linoleum. Linoleum. My foot's falling asleep bad. I'm not even going to be able to stand up because it's just tucked under my leg. This is going to be rough. Linoleum in the kitchen. Linoleum in the bathroom. And then carpet throughout the rest of the house. I have not had carpeted bedrooms in 18 years of living in this house. We've never had carpeting in the bedrooms. I have not had carpeting throughout my living room, my family room, nothing. I got carpeting here. I got carpeting going up our upstairs, and the kids' rooms are carpeted. That's it. And and that's why I love being down here, because when I'm sitting on the carpet, and you know what? I don't want good carpet. I don't want good carpet. I want 80s carpet. You know, I want some shaggier, you know, brown. It's got to be brown. Or I want to see like I want the kind of carpet where if you run your hand past it, it changes the color of the carpet. You know what I mean? It like goes from blue to dark blue when you rub your hand on it. Like you can write your name in your carpet if you want. That's what I want. Yeah, that would be, forget hardwood floors. I don't want any of that. I want some 80s brown carpeting in my house. Let's see. If you could make one room in your home a TV show set, what would it be? The South Fork dining room, Magnum PI's pad, JR's office, or the Tuesday Night Titans set? That is a great question. Well, let's talk about them all, because that's what we do on the Power Hour. The South Fork dining room is legendary, iconic. I would actually take it. I probably wouldn't even consider the South Fork dining room, and I would consider more the South Fork den or the South Fork family room. And Upstate Johnny knows what I'm talking about. Magnum PI's pad. As I think about, you know, stuff and you know, I don't know. As I think about living situations, if you haven't seen Magnum PI, his house is pretty cool. He's got it's an apartment on the grounds of, hang on, who's that? That's a dog. He's got an apartment on the grounds of Robin Masters' estate. And it's like a you know, a maid's quarters or something, you know, it's like the help's quarters, but it's so cool because it like goes down a few stairs and then like it opens up to like a living room and kitchen in one area. And then he's got a bedroom off the side behind these cool, like wicker door type style. That's pretty cool for a dude, you know, for a single guy. That's a pretty cool place. JR's office. JR's office is fantastic. J.R. Ewing has a massive office with a couch, and offices with couches are always tops on my list. The Tuesday Night Titans set is visually iconic. Visually iconic. So if you're holding my feet to the fire, surprisingly, this answer might surprise you, I'm going to go with the Tuesday Night Titans set, complete with the LJNs on the coffee table. I love that set. I think it'd be a good show set. I think we could do a show from like the desk. I think that would be cool. So I would use it in the show. I'm going to go with the Tuesday Night Titans set. And I'll answer the rest. I've got to do a little research or do a little thinking on, you know, favorite hair band of the 80s, hottest actress in a Friday the 13th film. I'll get there. My least favorite heel wrestler of all time, excluding Roddy Piper, of course. We'll answer those. Lisa E has the hard hitters, including some homeschool questions and how are things going at home, with an asterisk of if that's too personal. I understand. Nothing's too personal on the TN80sR half-hour power hour, and we are right at a half hour, so we hit it. We will be back. We're going to answer more of Upstate Johnny and Lisa E's questions. I think somebody sent in some questions on the Facebook. I'll pull those too. But if you want to be a part of the show, TN80R questions at gmail.com, jasonnup76@gmail.com, or toss me a friend wow. Why don't you toss me a friend request on Facebook, Jason Nupp, that's me. You see my mug on the picture, and we'll get you also in the show. Good debut for show. And do me a favor, folks. Do me a favor. You know, don't get, you know, the first question about faith. You know, I'm not atheist. I'm not, you know, I just don't know what I am. So don't get too concerned about me, and don't, you know, don't unsubscribe or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I don't know. And I think that's the problem. The problem is I don't know. And I don't, right now, I don't have an overwhelming enough faith to be okay with not knowing. So that's where I sit today. That's where I sit today. Does that mean I'm not reading still? Does that mean I don't highlight the Bible? No, I do. I do. I certainly do. But I just don't know. So that's the Power Hour. Thank you all very much. We will be back tomorrow with, I don't know, whatever hits me in the morning. We'll see.